The show can't start until we crack open a bottle of Revelton. Whether it's their crisp, clean vodka, the bold spice of their rye whiskey, the rich smoothness of bourbon, or the original honey whiskey that started it all, every pour is a taste of craft and passion straight from the heart of Iowa. So pour yourself a drink, settle in, and get ready to relax, laugh, and enjoy the show.
Hey, it's Andrew Downs. I'm proud to support Three Beards Media, and I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores, and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media, and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast.
On the top rope, get and kill the roar so loud. Black and gold waving, we're a fearless crowd. Under them lights, the fight burns bright. Greatest team assembled, ready for the fight. We stand tall, we stand true. Every game, every play, got the Hawkeye view. Legends rise, and we all knew that the black and gold's coming straight for you. From a Hawkeye view, see the whole state rise. With a heart so strong and fire in our eyes. On the field, on the court, in the stands, we shine. The best in the game, and the state is mine. Cover Hawkeyes, mugging, watch them break that press. Dropping dimes, hitting threes, never second guess. Full court hustle, hear the sneaker slide. With the fight in our veins, we red at pride. We stand tall, we stand true. Every game, every play, got the Hawkeye view. Legends rise, and we all knew that the black and gold's coming straight for you. From a Hawkeye view, see the whole state rise.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Another episode of Hawk's Eye View. Andrew Barber and AJ Hawksby DeFino here. AJ, how are we doing tonight?
Back at it. Let's do it.
All right. Love it. Having a good week, buddy?
Oh,
Everything
yeah.
Going well?
Going great. Yep. Just rocking and rolling. A short week too at work. So, that's always difficult. And I know I was texting you earlier this week, same thing. But yeah, this is just a nice little pause in the week. We get to talk some Hawkeye sports, get it going, and then your week just flies by after this, and weekend's here. And
Well, yeah, love it. Speaking of the weekend, it was a pretty good weekend for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Oh, yeah.
And it even spilled into this week. Picked up our punter from Simpson College.
Oh, yeah.
We picked
Bill
up
Simpson Storm.
Yeah, the Central Dutch in me hates that. Hates that with everything.
Division III All-American? No?
Division III All-American,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. We'll take it. I haven't really looked into his stats or anything like that, but you get him around the right guys. I feel good about it. I mean, we had to have a punter, right? So I think we kind of talked about it, and I think that was the rumor swirling around, like it was going to be someone in state. That's kind of what we were looking at, and yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just wait and see. It's really a wait and see game, right? Like,
Yeah. Definitely. And then we got a long snapper. Don't know anything about him.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about it last week, so I think I just wanted to come back this week and say the specialist needs that we had outstanding last week, we kind of filled those. And I think the other rumor out there is that there is an Aussie punter who will have 4 years of eligibility that we're going to bring in as well. So that's going to be more of like what we had with Torrey Taylor and Reese Dakin. We're going to kind of go that route again.
Okay.
So I don't know if the Simpson guy will be kind of maybe for this year and next year, and then kind of bring the other guy along
and develop him.
Yeah. Yeah. Cole says big shoes to fill after Torrey left. Last year was quite a drop off. Kind of agree. Also, Dakin didn't really get to show his stuff as much last year. We kind of talked about
True.
that.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing because we are not punting as much anymore.
Yeah. The motto punting is winning didn't really apply to last year as much.
Yeah.
In most situations. Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't desperately need a punter to be great at their job. Yeah, we also today, I think, was probably the biggest get. The Ohio State safety, Cody Haddad. That's a big one. 3 stars. So some people are like 3-star safety. Well, that's not that good, but he was at Ohio State, just buried on the depth chart. And when he hit the portal, both Tennessee, Texas A&M, and Nebraska all wanted to set up visits with him. He went to Iowa first, canceled all the others, committed to Iowa.
I mean, that's promising. That's promising.
So, yeah. Cole says thoughts on that guy. AJ, what have you read? What have you heard about?
Yeah. I mean, just from what I read, I mean, he's a freshman, 4 years of availability. Not much tape on him from what I was reading, but at least most of the insiders are saying, look, if Ohio State went after him, he's a get. I mean, he's got to be something. So, I mean, especially at safety. Again, I know I go back to this, but our white defensive backs, is he going to be athletic like Coop? Is he going to be athletic like Riley Moss? I think it'll be interesting to see. I think those 3 are hilarious. That, I mean, and we get this guy, right? So maybe he fills the shoes. I don't know. I think Iowa's just kind of that type of school for some reason. It's funny to think. My Riley Moss, I'm a Broncos fan, so Riley Moss in the AFC Championship this weekend. So be on the lookout.
Love it. Yeah. You mentioned those guys. I think you got to throw Zach Lutmer in the mix.
Yeah, for sure.
And signing, I mean, we went and got like 4 safeties in the transfer portal. So to me, I think that means Lutmer is switching to that cash role.
Yep.
And we talked about Brown last week. And then I think
Hawkins.
Girardi will get a chance at that other spot, I think. So, and then Styles, Hawkins, those guys could mix in. So we're deep. We're deep at safety now. I also think, and you let me know if you agree with this or not, but to me, the fact that we went after so many safeties and not corners means that Phil's good with Deshaun Lee, Jalen Watson, Rashad Godfrey, Jacob Wallace.
Yep.
That crew kind of holding down the corner spots.
For sure. I like Deshaun Lee a lot. And then Watson's this young, he was a 3-star as well, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Michigan kid, I believe.
Yeah, I think Detroit area or something like that. But yes. I mean, I think there was high hopes this year that maybe he'd get on the field and do some things. We didn't really. I mean, we used him definitely, but we didn't necessarily need him. And I think he was injured for a couple weeks or 3 weeks during the season. But yeah, I mean, Watson should be a guy. Deshaun Lee, we know, is very capable. I don't think the DBs are going to be a worrisome group. Linebacker is where we always question Iowa after, we had Nick Jackson and, oh my God.
Jay Higgins.
Yeah, right. So after those 2 left, we're like, what are we going to do now? I think Shire did a great job this year. Montgomery, he's an Urbandale boy, right?
You're thinking Jaden Harrell.
Harrell. I'm sorry. Yeah, Harrell.
Yeah. So you're asking me for answers at linebacker. You're questioning linebacker. The answers, I think, are Cam Buffington.
Okay.
And Derek Weiskopf. Those are two guys that didn't see the field. I think Shire has some eligibility left, so he'll certainly play too. But I know that people were kind of foaming at the mouth about those two guys and Preston Reese. Those are three guys, I think, that people were really, really excited about before the start of last year that never really saw the field until that bowl game.
Okay.
I think those guys saw some action in that bowl game, and that was good for getting their feet wet. But you're going to kind of hear Weiskopf, Reese, Buffington, those names a lot in spring ball.
Okay.
And wouldn't be surprised if one or two of those guys are our two starting linebackers. All three of those guys were either 4 stars or borderline 4 stars as linebacker prospects.
Okay, that's promising.
It's a little bit like the Hitchens, Kirksey.
Okay.
Who's the other one? Hitchens, Kirksey, Morris. Those guys were all young and coming up at the same time. It's a little bit reminiscent of that.
Yeah.
In some regards. So yes, there's a lot of questions, but I think we'll ultimately be fine there.
I hope so.
I think it says something too that Seth Wallace didn't want to go after linebackers in the portal.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they felt the need was filled already. That's true.
Yep. All right, Cole, great question. AJ, I'm going to let you try and tackle this one. How will the defense next year compare to this year?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I question our D-line and linebackers, but every year they show up, so why question them? I don't know. I'm more focused on the offense. Like I'm excited for the offense, so I don't know how to think about the defense really. I mean, how many defensive players did we lose? We lost
a lot, man.
Yeah.
A lot. When you run it all down, see Llewellyn, Graves, Herkett.
Yep, those 3.
Harrell. So that's your linebacker. I'm just going position by position here.
Yeah. Nwakpa,
Hall, Entringer from the back end.
Yeah.
So
you're losing about
7
starters.
And then Brian Allen rotated in.
Oh, yeah, Allen.
So
he leaves too.
But he wasn't a starter.
No.
But he was part of the group there on the D line. So depends on how you want to look at it, but 7, 8 starters, technically, if you want to get real technical, we lost. So that is definitely a concern, Cole. Yep. And I think, but I am ultimately with AJ. We question these things sometimes. We go, where's the production going to come from? Well, Yosei Epinesa is coming, and I think people thought he was going to see the field last year, but didn't because we just had too many guys in front of him that were too good at their job. So I think him and Merriweather and Brown, and I think you'll see a pretty big leap from Bryce Hawthorne because he
saw playing time, right?
Yeah, he saw playing time, but I think he'll be, he was not a full-time starter.
Yeah.
He'll move into that full-time starter role. I'm not worried about the edges. I think it's more so the depth on the inside that I'm concerned about of the D-line. I think on the edges, we're going to be just fine. With Epinesa, Merriweather, Brown, others, we'll get along fine. And like I mentioned, linebackers, I think we're going to be good. Probably the biggest question mark there.
Mm-hmm.
Along with, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, I guess every year that you lose that amount of starters now with the transfer portal, there's even more unknown for almost every team, right? Like no one knew that Indiana was going to be, 16-0 again this year. No one knew that Michigan was going to be pretty average on their D line. Not great. Like, I don't know. You just look at teams and you're like, oh, I mean, they picked up, 3 guys from the SEC. Oh, they're going to have a great D line, but then they end up not meshing or whatever happens. I don't know. So I just know that at least we worked on depth and defensive backfield there. And then obviously wide receivers, we grabbed plenty in bunches. We have tight ends. We have the O-line. We have 2 quarterbacks that we have to go, decide on. Running backs, plenty. So, I mean, we have depth. It's can we play, which whoever questions our defense, you can't question our defense. So, in the long answer there, Cole, I mean, yeah, I feel confident in our defense. Always have, always will.
One thing that I will say with confidence is I think we're going to have an 11th straight year of allowing less than 20 points per game next year. I do feel pretty confident in that.
Even with Michigan and Ohio State on our schedule next year?
Those are so I wanted to get your thoughts on that because those are by far, I would say, the 2 toughest games on the schedule next year.
Yeah.
But it's not as daunting of a schedule as last year, so I think we got that working in our favor with the defense.
I think it becomes a little bit debatable, I guess, after you see the season. Yeah, I mean, we had Indiana, we had Oregon, USC. I mean, yeah, you got those 3 tough games, but
Iowa State was tough at the time we played them.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I just saw somebody post like college football, I don't know, everything college football or something on Twitter. And they posted Iowa could have went, undefeated and made the college football playoff. And it showed every play. It was just a clip of every play, the Iowa State game, where it tips off the guy's hands into, I think it was Beamer's, their tight end. Brahmer's hands, and he catches it first down on 3rd and 4 on the 20. And then you got obviously the Iowa Indiana game. We missed the field goal. Also, the screen pass could also be played there. The Oregon game. I mean, that much space in between the hand of, was it Hall?
TJ Hall and the wide receiver for
Oregon. And then the USC game, I can't remember what that one was. I'm trying to remember back at what that one was, but
Weechin was barely out of bounds on
that's right.
Incredible catch.
Yeah, that's right.
His toe was barely out.
Like so many plays that added up to that season. 2 of those go our way. I think we probably are close to the college football playoff. Which I don't know. I guess I don't know if we were done on talking in the roster side of things, but AP final voting came out. I don't know if you're good to switch over to that now, or if you had any final thoughts.
Yeah, no, I just was trying to make a point that we went into last year with a lot of questions because Nick Jackson and Jay Higgins left.
Sure.
And can TJ Hall be the number 1 corner? We didn't feel great about that necessarily. And all those questions, except for the linebackers, I would say the TJ Hall and the defensive backfield question got answered right away. That was good from the jump. And we allowed 16.1 points per game, which was better than the defense with Cooper DeJean's senior year, against what I would label a more difficult schedule than that one. So we played 2 playoff teams, the eventual national champion, held those kind of teams in check with a lot of what I would say were a lot of question marks.
Yeah. I mean, even the USC team, probably one of the more powerful offenses in the Big Ten. I think it had to have been top 3. I mean, we held them to 26, which may not look as great, but I mean, still pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then, looking at next year, you get that Ohio State team at home, right?
Yep.
We've
We're at
definitely
Michigan, right?
we've definitely done our thing against Ohio State at home before.
Yeah.
Not saying that we're going to do something like that again, but it's obviously very favorable to us that it's at home.
Mhm.
And then at Michigan, I don't know what Michigan's going to be. I think Whittingham's a good coach, but I don't know what their roster is going to look like. I think that
Yep.
team's a pretty big question mark, to be
For sure.
honest.
That's true. That's a good point.
So, yeah. And then we get our other rivalry game, all of our rivalry games at home. Iowa State, Nebraska, Wisconsin, all at home. Yeah.
Are you not counting Minnesota as a rivalry game anymore because we just destroy them all the time?
Sorry. Yeah, I kind of forget about them. They're kind of an afterthought, dude.
Yeah.
I did not intentionally do that. I promise.
I don't blame you.
But yeah,
Oh,
it's at Minnesota, and we'll see, man. Like
Yeah.
we'll see what Minnesota looks like.
Yeah.
We go to Illinois, which you think that could be pretty difficult, but
Yeah.
they lost a lot of people. They lost
Yeah.
Altmaier. They lost a lot of other starters and
Yeah.
things. So just on paper, it looks pretty good for Iowa if certain questions get answered kind of like they were last year.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Take it away on the AP top 25 thing, because I feel like you're way more tuned into this than I am.
Yeah. So Iowa finished the season 17th. Let me go to this here. Hold on. Where'd my post go here? Where is it here? Well, goodness gracious, I'm trying to find it. I wanted to pull up. Yeah, Iowa finished 17th. So Iowa finished 17th in the AP poll. 2 spots behind Vanderbilt. I won't get into that yet, but so yeah, Indiana obviously number 1, Oregon number 4, and USC 20th. So USC right behind us. So 3 of our 4 losses to top 20 teams in the AP to end this season at least. So they ended strong, all those teams, and obviously Indiana won it all. But I guess where I have a lot of problems in the internet, Hawkeye faithful are very strong on Twitter, is the amount. If you look at the ballots, the amount of ballots that had Vanderbilt ahead of Iowa was astonishing, really, to be honest with you. I think there was 8 people that did out of I think there's 52 voters, I believe. I mean, that's a lot. 1 voter didn't even have Iowa on the ballot. Nothing.
Yeah. I don't understand. I don't get it, man.
Yeah, so you saw me tweet out a couple times like, "Hey, questioning what's going on here. I don't understand." To some of these voters, there's a couple voters that had Vanderbilt in the top 15. Not a couple, a lot of voters that had Vanderbilt in the top 15. Actually, 1 voter. Let me see here. 1 voter, and it is the Notre Dame voter, voted Notre Dame at 4th in the nation.
What are we doing?
Yeah. So
What are
the
we
AP,
doing?
I think, needs to be reconstructed or questioned more. I don't know. I mean, I get it. Every school is just about every school. I mean, you got South Alabama, Illinois, Oklahoma, West Virginia, Rutgers, Wake Forest, Penn State, a guy from Fox, UConn. I mean, just about every school that you can think of. Syracuse is in there, San Diego State. I mean, so it's pretty widespread on the schools, but I I know it's difficult, I'm sure, to see all these teams. So I give them credit for at least putting their name out there, and their name is always out there every week. So there's always going to be pushback and criticism. And Madison Herrick, I believe is how you say her name, but she's from the Cedar Rapids Gazette. I reached out to her to see maybe she'll come on next week. I just want to know the process and how you get selected for it, because I'm just curious on the AP voting, how that works. I don't know if she'll be able to even come on because she's an AP voter. I don't know if they have restrictions on if they can go on podcasts or on TV or anything like that. I'm not quite sure, but I'd be interested to hear the process and how that works. But anyways, Iowa ends up 17th in the AP voting. And then also coaches poll, Kurt Signetti, he voted Iowa 11th overall. I don't know if you had seen that go kind of viral, at least Hawkeye Twitter wise. So that's pretty cool. Sig gave us a little love at number 11 in the poll. I'm not sure where we ended up there in the coaches poll, but still pretty solid season, I think. 17th overall.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of their players I heard too were asked like, "What was your toughest game?"
I saw that. Yeah,
quite a few of them were saying Iowa.
Yeah, Kinnick Stadium.
Yeah. What was your toughest road game? And it was Iowa, pretty consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really don't understand being behind Vanderbilt at all. I understand it if there was a bunch of opt-outs.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case. It was pretty much strength on strength. Everybody's playing all out. Both teams wanted to win. Iowa came out on top. I feel like that should be a pretty clear indicator of, well, okay, Iowa's the better team. I should at least put Vanderbilt below Iowa.
Yeah. And I think the voters that didn't do it, it wasn't just SEC voters either. There was a Houston voter, a Texas voter. I'm trying to remember the other one as well, but it wasn't an SEC school, because I wouldn't blame them for doing that. Like, I don't blame you for repping your, conference. Like, you stand behind Vanderbilt, you stand behind LSU, you stand behind those schools, and you put them in front. I mean, even if it is just one spot ahead, but very interesting that AP voting. It's pretty cool to see actually every week. I don't know if you ever happen to get that or look, and I'll send it to you all year next year, but it is interesting to see when they post these. I mean, they're posting the people's, Twitter handles, they're posting where they're from, and they're posting the full names, and it's like, hey, they're an AP voter, and guess what? Here's how they voted. And it's like, wait a second, hold on. Why'd they do that? Why'd they put them at number 1? That doesn't make any sense, or number 4, or so yeah, it's quite interesting, but I try not to dwell on that too much. But at the end of the season, it's like you got a full picture there at that point.
Basically, you and I are on a mission to become AP voters.
Yeah, let's do it.
But that's what I'm saying is, like, yeah, it's tough to watch all the games.
Yeah.
But is it so hard to, like, get on Twitter and see what's going on, or at least
just check the scores?
Check the scores.
Yeah.
I think most people, just like the common fan, has a pretty good knowledge of what's happening just from doing that, and could come up with better rankings.
That's why I'd like to see, hopefully maybe Madison is able to get it on here, at least just for like 15 minutes, 10 minutes, just kind of walk us through what it is to be an AP voter. What's the process? How hard is it to really, sit there, and do you watch every game? Probably not, right? Like, everybody has other stuff going on. So it's like, what's your thought process? How do you kind of decide on, or your criteria, like anything? Can you give us anything on how some of these people would be thinking and why they would think that?
Yeah.
I'm curious. It makes me a little mad. I'm like, how do you do that? Like, that seems like a pretty easy one, but I guess if it doesn't line up, it doesn't line up, I guess. I don't know. So try not to dwell on it too much. So
yeah. Cole, man, I love it that you're all over here tonight, Cole. I see 2 to 3 losses next year. Maybe we can make the playoffs. I can tell you right now, 2 to 3 losses with that schedule will not make the playoffs. I think you got to go probably 11-1 with that schedule to make the playoffs if you're Iowa next year.
Unless Washington becomes a top 25 win at Washington, or Illinois somehow
Right.
stays in the top 25 too. I think
Yes.
it's going to depend on, because we know Ohio State's going to be ranked top 10 more than likely. I mean, by the time we
And
play them,
we're hinging a lot on Michigan being
and
ranked.
then
We play them.
exactly, yeah. I
We
think it's
play
going
them
to
late
depend
in
on
the year, so who knows?
Yeah.
Like I said, things could fall apart. And
Yeah.
Washington, are they going to have a quarterback?
Oh,
They're gonna,
right.
you know,
Yeah.
and if Mr. Williams does go back to play quarterback, how does he get his teammates to believe in him again?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I think again, just I'm not an expert on all these other teams, but just thinking about the off seasons that all of our opponents have had, 11-1 seems to be the recipe for me.
Yeah.
I think.
I think 10-2 is probably the number that's. I mean, if the season ends like it did this year, I mean, there was 2-3 lost teams in the playoff.
That's true.
So it just depends. And how are the voters going to look next year at the SEC? Are they going to kind of be a little more, okay, well, the SEC isn't all that in a bag of chips. I mean, after bowl season, we obviously saw that there was clearly one conference that was ahead of the rest, and that was the Big Ten. The question is, will they see that next year, or is it going to be SEC, SPN going for all the SEC schools to be put into the playoff and just have an SEC playoff? So I don't know. We'll kind of see how it plays out, but I think 2 wins definitely gets you in.
2 losses. Yeah, 2
Or 2
losses could probably get you in.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, a 2-win team would be insane.
Yeah.
No.
James Madison.
Yeah, a 2-win 2-10 team, aka next year's Iowa State Cyclones.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm sorry. I can't be throwing shade at the Cyclones like this already, but I kind of think too that next year could be great. We could make the playoffs, but I really think things are kind of trending towards like a 2027 push more so.
Yeah.
Just with the roster construction and the age of some of our key guys being maybe a little bit on the younger, a lot of sophomore and juniors on next year's squad and some freshmen mixed in there. So I think we're going to make a bigger push in 2027 and be a lot stronger team in 2027. I'm not taking anything. I'm not throwing next season away.
Yeah.
But I think that there's a playoff chance next year.
27, if we're looking at it from last year, right? We got Indiana. Sorry, at Indiana. We have Michigan at home. We have UCLA at home, USC at home, at Nebraska, at Oregon, and at Wisconsin, with Maryland sprinkled in there, and obviously Minnesota. But seems like a pretty difficult one schedule if you're looking at it from last year, right? Or this year that just ended. But who knows? Again, with all the portal stuff and everything going on, I mean, every year is going to be a new year. Like truly, every year is going to be a new year, no doubt about it. You can't look at last year and go, "Oh, that team's going to be great." You really just have to wait it out. I mean, there's going to be teams that are the blue bloods that are going to be good, but I think clearly with the parity that's just happened with Indiana winning, anything can happen at this point. But there's also questions. I was thinking this after the national championship, like, why can't Iowa do it, right? So there's going to be people that question Cignetti and what he did at Indiana and be like, well, just because we're Wake Forest, just because we're Duke, just because we're Iowa, just because we can get to the college football playoff and win the national championship, go 16-0, but it's like, it's not that easy. I know that, but like, that's what every fan now believes that their program can do. And
yeah, and I hope that most fans don't fall into that trap.
yeah, for sure.
Because Cignetti is kind of a once in a lifetime type thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so hopefully after Kirk Ferentz retires and rides off into the sunset, Iowa fans don't think we're going to hire the next Cignetti and be just like Indiana.
Yeah.
Because Cignetti is a great coach, and I'm not taking anything away from him, but he also has a billionaire backing him up, Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban shelling out tens of millions to invest in football and basketball and everything else for his school. So Iowa doesn't have that yet. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a billionaire at some point in the future.
Where's Ashton Kutcher? Where's Ashton Kutcher at?
Yeah, he's not a billionaire. He's got plenty of money, but he's not a billionaire. So, you know, we have some donors. We have some high level donors for sure. But yeah, you're talking, if we're talking future things, like the playoffs are going to expand.
Yeah.
The revenue sharing cap will probably, what I've heard, is become uncapped. Completely uncapped. Meaning that $100 million per year that Iowa and all those other Big Ten schools get from TV, they can just go ahead and share that $100 million with their athletic program. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'll be huge.
Right now we can only share $20.5 million. If that $20.5 million suddenly becomes $100 million, well, it is all Big Ten and SEC for everything because it's all uncapped and they have all the money.
Yeah. And Notre Dame rides off into the sunset as being Notre Dame, who missed out on their opportunity at doing anything.
Right. Right. Unless it will kind of, so there's a lot of those factors too.
Yeah.
So there's no way you and I can account for all of that.
No,
but
no.
I'm just coming at it from the angle of Hecklinski. This will be his year one. We think we'll be good with him at quarterback. Maybe his second year as a starter because he has multiple years left, right?
Yep.
Maybe he'll get better in that second year as a starter. We'll have another year of all the wide receivers that we've talked about from the transfer portal, and Vander Zee and Vonneman, all those guys will be juniors and seniors, right? So they'll be well included, and who knows what we add again, right? To even bolster that further. So, yeah, I think that's why I think we're in a good spot for 2027, because we will again get another offseason of not having to go after a quarterback because we've got Lester's guys in the room right now for this year, next year, beyond.
Yep.
So we don't have to keep going to the transfer portal for a quarterback anymore, theoretically.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's what I think sets Iowa up for a lot of success. But all right, I've kind of gone on and on here. Any other football news?
No, we got to push it to basketball. That's what's current. That's what's going bonkers right now.
I think we will. I think we will hear from all of our wonderful sponsors, and then we will come back and talk basketball.
Making great tasting bourbon requires the perfect combination of ingredients, conditions, and time. The longer it rests, the better it tastes. Revelton Distillery's new single barrel bourbon is made from 80% corn, sourced 100% from Iowa farmers. And unlike mass-produced bourbons, each barrel of Revelton's single barrel bourbon is unique, proofed on when it tastes best. As they like to say, it'll be ready when it's ready. And to ensure the highest standards of quality and flavor, owners Rob and Christy Taylor oversee the production and bottling. Every single barrel. Iowa born, Iowa aged, Iowa bottled. Try the new single barrel bourbon from Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com.
Welcome back to Cooking with Billy and Willie. We're already in progress because great cooking doesn't wait. Today, we're turning things up with Naked Dave's seasoning and sauces.
You know, this chicken and the beef here and all this stuff is fantastic. It tastes fantastic with this Naked Dave stuff.
Oh yeah, dude, this barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Yeah, that's why we're doing the commercial for Naked Dave's. That's why we're like pretend like we're naked. We pretend like we're naked, and then we eat, and it'll be a good commercial.
It will be, for sure.
Hey, why are you really naked? You didn't have to be all the way naked. We were pretend.
It's supposed to, I wanted it to be like realistic, you know, like
Yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis or
Well,
something.
one thing you can keep the chair after this. Where's the director?
What's the problem? What is your guys' problem? It's fine.
What? Why's he naked?
I told him we were doing a naked commercial at your house.
This is like the worst porno flick ever.
It's Naked Dave. Look at Dave.
It really is good.
If you want bold flavor that doesn't hold back, try Naked Dave's seasoning and sauces. Find it at your local Hy-Vee grocery store. Ask your grocer to carry it or order online today at www.littlewolffoods.com. And remember, Naked Dave's, you don't have to be naked to use it. In the heart of Des Moines, one name has stood above the rest: Iowa Beef Steakhouse. Step inside and you enter a place where tradition still matters, where the atmosphere feels familiar, warm, and unmistakably Iowa. Service isn't rushed. It's personal, attentive, and rooted in genuine care. And before the main event, the freshest start in the city, our signature salad bar, crafted every single day. Then comes the reason people have returned for generations: Iowa beef, hand-seasoned with pride. Guided by flame, forged by heat. This is where flavor becomes legend. Served with the same care it was crafted with, a meal meant to be remembered. And whether the night calls for bold, smooth, or something in between, our bar offers a selection as rich as our history, including the old-fashioned we've become known for: balanced, timeless, unforgettable. And long after the fire cools, the glow of this place stays with you. Iowa Beef Steakhouse, 1201 East Euclid Avenue, Des Moines, Iowa, where Iowa comes for steak, done right.
Whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing your home, or if it's simply time to renovate the one you're already living in, you need an experienced mortgage professional to help you analyze your financing options and to make sure the closing goes smoothly. And that's exactly what you get when you call Kyle Lehman at Wintrust Mortgage. Kyle's experience and expertise, coupled with Wintrust's rates and programs, ensures you'll get the mortgage that's right for you. You may even qualify for down payment assistance. Before you reach out to a realtor, call Kyle and get pre-qualified, empowering you to start shopping for the home of your dreams. Call Kyle at 515-473-0546. Kyle Lehman Wintrust Mortgage, 515-473-0546.
All right, we're back, and I sincerely apologize to all of you watching live on video who had to watch Bill and Chris and Willie be absolutely naked for a commercial.
That was hilarious.
So shield your eyes, kids. It's rough out here. But no, we appreciate Naked Dave's coming on as a sponsor, and yeah, we have a lot of good sponsors. So AJ, I think we got to start talking women's basketball, and it's because I owe a sincere apology to Addie Deal. I was talking about her struggles during our show last week, and while we were recording, she has her best game of the season against Oregon, 18 points, doesn't miss from three, and then follows that up with a very efficient 8 points against Michigan State in a win against a ranked Michigan State team in Carver Hawkeye. So 13 points per game over her last two, doing it extremely efficiently and kind of beginning to show that potential that I think all Iowa fans were excited about when she committed and was a 5-star top 10 in her class.
Yeah. Freshman of the week, Big Ten freshman of the week. So solid week, obviously, but yeah, I mean, we were going back and forth after we had aired the show, and I mean, it was bucket after bucket after bucket. She just wasn't missing, and we were texting back and forth. I was like, "Oh, you have to go on and apologize next week, that's for sure." But yeah, she played solid, and then Stalky was Big Ten Player of the Week last week. She had 18 against Oregon also, and then against Michigan State, 22 and 9 game. So solid all around. 5 assists too, which is impressive. Just 2 turnovers, but yeah, I mean, you get a top 15 victory. I think they ended 11th still, or no, 10th. They jumped in the top 10. And then, yeah, Thursday we got a big matchup. It's on NBC at 5:00. So that's prime time, 5:00 game on NBC. That's pretty solid against Maryland. So, and then, yeah, then Ohio State, we already talked about the gauntlet that they have coming up. So,
yeah, it is for sure a gauntlet. And I was happy to see both Addie Dale and Hannah Stokey have great weeks. Stokey's had a tough senior season so far, but to really light it up at this point is good. And I hope that kind of compels her on to kind of keep that momentum for the rest of the year. So hopefully Coach Jensen's unlocked something, and I think she has, with kind of the rotations and the minutes and like all the pieces fitting together. I think everybody's kind of ironed out their roles a lot more, and that's probably what's leading to more success for players like Silky and Deal. I think those are just 2 examples. So, yeah. And like we kind of alluded to, like if I said at that point, if Addie Deal were to emerge, well, she's emerging, that kind of raises the ceiling for this year and future years.
Absolutely.
So, kind of like what we talked about with Iowa football. Yeah, we'll have to replace Stilkey and Feuerbach and McCabe next year. Those are the 3 main ones, and they're all 3 starters. But we'll bring in, like, Deal will probably work her way into the starting lineup next year, I would imagine. Wright will be back. Hayden will be back. Stremlo. And then, oh, by the way, you just add the second or the third best. It really depends on where you look. Player in her freshman class, McKenna Velitzko. You just drop her into that for kind of the Stokey role. Hayes is back. She'll be hopefully developing in the offseason. I think an offseason with Jane Jensen will do her a lot of good. But, yeah, not only is this Iowa team set up for a run this year, they're set up for a run in future years to come. So,
yeah, which I think is what's been questioned since Caitlin left, is like, can this team succeed still? And with Jensen as well at coach, like, can they succeed? Is there a plan in place after all of this kind of not falls, but leaves your program? And I think question's been answered at this point, 16-2. So,
yep. And yeah, we'll see how they do in this next kind of 4-game stretch here. So getting off to a win against Michigan State, obviously big, because then you have back-to-back ranked matchups. You mentioned Thursday night against Maryland. That will be difficult. Make sure you tune into that one, Hawk fans, and cheer loud, because that's going to be a pretty big game. And then yeah, this weekend we host ranked Ohio State. So get out there and support, because the men's team, who we're going to probably talk about in a second, doesn't play again until the 28th. So we've got no reason to not get to Carver this weekend and support the women's team. So, be honest, I don't know enough about Maryland or Ohio State women's basketball to give you guys a great in-depth preview. I'll go on a limb here and say Iowa goes 1-1. I think we lose to Maryland. I think we beat Ohio State. I think we kind of keep up the tradition of defending home court.
Yeah, Maryland is 5-3 in the Big Ten. Ohio State 6-1. Looks like Maryland's couple of losses. They lost to Ohio State at home by 13. So not that I know how the game went or anything like that. And then they also lost to what looks to be a mid-average Illinois team at Illinois by 3. So that could be a win, a good away win. And then we get Ohio State at home, which the Ohio State-Iowa matchup is always fun to watch every year. Always has been. And Ohio State always has a really good program. But, yeah, they're 17-2, 6-1 in the Big Ten. So definitely going to be a really good matchup there. And then UCLA. Well, USC, then UCLA afterwards, which everyone knows UCLA as the powerhouse, right, of the Big Ten. Every year, I think, is it Betts, I believe is her name. She's like,
yeah,
she's the big woman down low that's just dominant. But yeah, they're 17-1. I mean, I think, yeah, third in the country. So tough matchups coming up. But yeah, you come out of that. Even with 3 or 4 wins in the next 5, I think you have yourself sitting really pretty with what is to be like an easier end of the schedule there. I think only 2 ranked opponents to end the year. So
yeah, there is. I don't want to go too deep into the hypotheticals, the what if game, but there is an alternate universe where Lauren Betts is an Iowa Hawkeye. We were pretty aggressive after her in the portal when she transferred to UCLA before last season. Like we were strongly after her, almost had a visit lined up, and she went to UCLA instead. There is a world where we get Lauren Betts on the heels of Caitlin Clark to pair with Lucy Olson and that team that we had last year. And I would be scared for everybody if we had gotten Lauren Betts, because this would be insane.
She's dominant. Yeah, she's dominant. She is WNBA ready for sure. Like when you see her out there, she's definitely a WNBA ready for sure.
Yeah, I'm just trying to imagine Betts, Hayden, Stolke, Wright, Deal. Yeah, that wouldn't have been fair. But alas, we have to live in the real world where I think there's a realistic path to Iowa finishing, like I talked about before, finishing second in the Big Ten this year.
Yeah.
And that would be an extremely successful. I think that would be overachieving.
Yeah.
For sure. So
being a solid 2 or 3 seed, that would be nice.
Oh, that'd be miraculous, and yeah, it'd be awesome to make have an inside track at making a Sweet 16. Because we'd get to hosting 2 games for the NCAA tournament should absolutely be the goal at this point in time.
Always, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Love it. Man, Cole, I love all the comments. Keep them coming. Top scorers are sophomores, 5-star on the bench, another 5-star coming in. Yep. Future looking good. All right, the men's squad. They took down Indiana on the
Dominant.
road,
Dominant.
dismantled the Indiana Hoosiers. And we're just now 55 minutes in, getting to the title of the podcast. Ben McCollum greater than Darian DeVries.
That's the truth.
It is, man. I was someone that when Fran was let go, that I instantly thought DeVries would be the best guy for the job.
Same.
So glad that Beth Getz didn't think that way, because we know that now. She instantly thought of one other guy, and that was one Ben McCollum. And, at first I was like, well, yeah, I guess, but I don't know. Like, he hasn't gone anywhere above Drake, and he's doing really well at Drake, but how will that translate? And yeah, I was wrong to question any and all of that. At this point in time, halfway through year one, I think I was definitely wrong to question any of that. So yeah,
I agree. Last night's game had me questioning a little bit, just a little bit. I'm just get a little bit frustrated, I think, overall, with sometimes the way we play. I don't know. But yes, I also very much agree with that statement. I thought the same way is DeVries comes over with his son, Tucker, as well. So it's a package deal. I go, oh, we got a guy. Well, I didn't know that Bennett Sturts. I knew who Bennett Sturts was. I watched plenty of Drake games. I probably watched 15, 20 games. But when I watched Drake, Bennett was the guy. And then there was those guys that kind of came off the bench, or like a Banks or McCombs. It was a lot of foul trouble that these guys were getting into, and low scoring games. Great defense though. So I don't know. I need to see us again against elite teams, because like Indiana was, I think they had a cupcake early schedule, so it's hard to tell what they really were, but it was a great win at Assembly Hall. We know that. That's a great win. But the Rutgers game kind of put me back in my place where I'm like, not as excited still. I'm still there. I'm very excited for this team. I'm very excited for the future. But that Rutgers game last night, there's a lot of questions I had. Like, what? This team is showing that they're more athletic than us out on the court. And a dribble drive right past us, I think, 15 times probably. A lot of foul calls too, but that I don't agree with, which is pretty common when I watch Big Ten basketball, Iowa basketball, but I don't know. But I do very much agree with your statement there and the title of our podcast.
Yeah, no. And I mean, you should have gone to Indiana message boards. I mean, message boards are always a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
But Indiana fans are saying, like, they wish they had McCollum, kind of a thing. Maybe it's too early to make these kinds of judgments off of 1 year, but Indiana fans seem to feel like, we didn't get the right guy. We would feel a lot better if we had Ben McCollum. So while I'm with you on Tuesday night, kind of bringing us back down to earth a little bit, that's just the nature of college basketball, man. It's just, and I tried to think of it, whether this is fair or not. Man, if a Fran McCaffrey team was in a game like this, are they pulling that one out? I don't know. I don't feel like they are.
Only if he stares down the ref for 20 seconds.
Yeah, apparently. But first 30 minutes were pretty awful. The last 10 minutes, it felt like they kind of flipped a switch.
For sure.
Banks, Sturts, Sage was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
his best performance by far.
Yeah. Give me like 5 or 6 more Sage and Howards, and we'll go pretty far.
Yeah. That
So
was his breakout game for sure. No doubt about it.
yeah, but like Sage and Howard turned that game.
Yeah.
It wasn't Sturts, it wasn't Banks, it wasn't Fulgaris
Yeah.
or anybody else. It was Sage and Howard getting after it on the wings, pretty much.
So a couple things for you quick. Fulgaris, your thoughts on him, and then it's Hassan, right? Hassan from Kansas State.
Yeah. So
What's going on there? Like both of them.
So Fulgaris, I think he's having a tough time making the transition up a level.
Yeah.
And also being asked to play a vastly different style than what he was asked to play at Robert Morris, where he was the offensive centerpiece. Robert Morris wasn't really a defensive unit or a defensive minded squad at all.
Yeah.
They were very much of that kind of European influence, free flowing offense, defense. We'll worry about that later kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And that doesn't fly with Ben McCollum. So I do give Fulgaris a lot of props because you can see that he is actually trying to put in the effort defensively. He's just not built for that kind of a grind style at this point in time. He's just not, I don't know if it's conditioning or what it is, but I think thankfully this isn't his final year. He's got 2 more after this, I believe, in an Iowa uniform. I think you'll see him make quite a jump next season. I would imagine.
He's got the shooting ability. We know that.
He's got a lot more than that, though.
Yeah.
Like you put on his Robert Morris film and stuff, you see a creative passer. Like they're literally running the offense through him, kind of like a Jokic style kind of thing, man.
Yeah.
Like, and he's making all these decisions and he's attacking the basket. And I don't know where all that went, but maybe it's just moving up a level has been kind of difficult in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
So but I think he can get there. It just may not click for him this year the way that we all wanted it to. I also think you got to he would also thrive a lot more if he had a traditional 5-man next to him.
Yeah.
Because he's playing a little bit of the 5 spot off the bench, and I don't think that's him. I think he's more of a stretch 4.
For sure.
Kind of guy.
Yeah.
He needs to be floating around the perimeter, splashing threes, doing things from the perimeter and in, not inside out.
Yeah.
So Howson, I think it's a lot of the same story of what I just talked about with Fulgaris. And someone, I can't remember who said this, but so I'm stealing a little bit. This is his first time of being with a winning program at the college level. He spent 2 years with Villanova when they were awful in the Kyle Neptune era.
Oh, yeah.
And then he spent a year with last year's Kansas State squad, and that was an awful Jerome Tang coach squad.
Yeah.
So quite a step up to go from 3 losing squads to a team where winning is the expectation for a coach where he doesn't accept anything other than winning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and also obviously Howson a defensive liability too.
Yeah.
So I think he is going to be, unfortunately, just going to be a situational type player where we're only going to need him in certain instances, certain situations, or if somebody gets injured or if it's a blowout, he's that kind of a guy for us this year. And I don't think he's back next year either. So it's kind of a bummer that we went and got him, and that's all we're going to get. And also, we're getting a lot more than what we expected out of Cale Combs too.
For sure.
We're getting a lot more than what we expected out of Sage and Howard. I don't think anybody expected Tate Sage to even play.
No,
Really, this year.
he was just talked about early on in the season, just getting some playing time. But yeah, I mean, he's kind of become a guy. He's a freshman. You got
Howard sophomore.
Koch,
Yeah.
a freshman, Howard, sophomore, Combs, a junior. Really, we're only losing Hawson, Banks, and then Bennett. Yeah, so we're only
I thought
losing
Banks.
3.
I really thought Banks had another year. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it says he's a senior, at least on ESPN. So I guess we have to look and see.
Okay, I think that's one of those things where he does have another year of eligibility, though.
Okay. Yeah, that falls off coming this year, right? This is like the last year or something of that extra eligibility. But
yeah, so I think we lose Sturts, obviously, Maniau, and Howson.
Maniau's a junior. That's what it has on ESPN.
Oh, then I have Banks and Maniau flipped.
Okay.
I got Banks and Maniau flipped.
Okay.
That's too bad because I would love another year of Banks.
Yeah, same. Yeah, he's definitely one of my favorite players, hands down. But Maniau, is it Maniau?
Maniau, yeah.
Maniau, yeah. Yeah, I like him a lot, but he just gets into a little bit of foul trouble, which is what I watched when I watched a lot of the Drake games last year. He got into a lot of foul trouble. Banks got into foul trouble, and Sturts would too. But I think Sturts really has to try and attempt to stay out of foul trouble, like for this team to really succeed.
He did that against Indiana.
Yeah, which he did. Yeah, and he played a great game. I don't know. Last night was just difficult to watch, and I think just a one-off. And so I'm hoping next week we get going again, and I'm back on the bandwagon. I'm not off the bandwagon per se. I'm always going to be on the Hawkeye bandwagon, but it just kind of threw me off last night. I wasn't really expecting that against a below-average Rutgers team.
Yeah, until we see that on a consistent basis, that kind of a performance, I think we can ride it off for a one-off. And you want to know what's funny about last night is because do not grill me on exactly how this works out, but it benefited us because it somehow jumped Rutgers to quad 3.
Really?
Just by having the margin B, because margin gets factored in now, I believe. Okay. Just by having the margin B so close against a team like Iowa, who would have been a quad 1 win for Rutgers if they had pulled it out, right? Somehow bumped them up, so they're not a quad 4.
Interesting.
And then I don't know if you saw, but UCLA beat Purdue.
Yes, I did see that.
Which puts them on the fringe of being in quad 1. So there is a chance that UCLA could play their way into quad 1 pretty easily over the next week or so. And then we could have our second quad 1 win just by them moving up.
Yeah. So. And I was watching Pat McAfee today, and Ty Schmidt, Iowa grad, he was talking about Mick Cronin, the coach at UCLA, dogging the Big Ten again. This is his second straight year of doing that, but he dogged the Big Ten for scheduling them. I think it was 5 of their first 7 Big Ten games being away, and he was dogging them. And after a win against Purdue, that's where his head went, which is crazy. But at least we'll see how the net rankings and everything kind of play out maybe next week or a couple weeks, so we can go over what we're looking at. I want to know more in detail what I'm looking at. What's a quad 1? What's a quad 2? I know what those are, but like, how do they get that again? Because I know you're kind of well versed in that.
Yeah. Well, we're 21st. We're 1-4 against quad 1. So it depends on the location of the game as to what's quad 1.
I knew it was away and home kind of differentiated, because away is top 50 or no, top 75.
Top 75. Away
Yeah,
is top 75. Neutral floor, top 50. Home, top 30.
Okay.
So, like, UCLA bumped up to 40th, moved up 4 spots after their win last night. So we need them to go up another 10 spots
Okay.
for us beating them at home earlier this year to count as a quad 1 win.
Okay.
So, yeah, we need UCLA to go put in some work there. But, yeah, so talked about this a couple weeks ago with Tyler. It was an interesting resume at the time because there was no quad 1 wins for Iowa, but now we changed that with Indiana, who I think will, barring something crazy, I do think Indiana will probably stay in that quad 1 territory for us. They would have to drop off significantly. In fact, they're 37th right now.
Okay.
They would have to drop off pretty significantly to move out of the quad 1.
That's promising.
Yeah. So that Indiana road win should remain a quad 1 for the whole season. Yeah, that's another thing about this upcoming stretch for Iowa is it's no quad 1 opportunities until you play Purdue again on February 14th.
At home, right? We play them at home. And then we have Nebraska at home, that's the home game. So we have a couple opportunities there, and then obviously Michigan and Nebraska again, which are away. But
I take that back. I think Washington on the road would technically be a quad 1 because I think they're top 75.
Yeah, I think they played. Do they play Nebraska tonight?
They're playing Nebraska on the road right now.
Yeah.
Best of luck. But yeah, they're 60th in net right now. Washington is. So by the time we play them, I'm guessing they'll definitely still be top 75. Again, they would have to have some pretty bad loss to fall out of that. But yeah, plenty of quad 1 opportunities left for Iowa. So we're 1-4 right now. We can turn that around if we're able to rack up some wins.
I would like to see us in a 6 seed this year. That would be great. I think that would be overachieving in most eyes.
If we're going based on the net isn't the only factor.
Sure.
The committee's rankings or seedings. We are right there. We're the top 6 seed technically.
Yeah.
Right. My math. Yeah, top 20 would be a 5 seed.
Yeah.
So we'd be a 6,
5,
11. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then looking at teams like UConn, Houston, Michigan State, BYU's 3 seeds. That'd be pretty rough. So again, we have plenty of opportunities to kind of bump our way up. All right. Anything else you got for me tonight, AJ Hawksby, Fino?
I know we kind of talked about wrestling last week. It was a difficult week. I watched a couple matches, but 32-3 loss, worse in the Brands era against Penn State. I think the question that we had last week is it the end? Is he on his way out? I think that's probably set in stone at this point, right? For Hawkeye wrestling, but just wanted to touch on that wasn't a pretty sight on Friday night. So
yeah, I didn't watch any of it. Yeah, glad I didn't. Not invested in wrestling at this point in time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think there's a clear number one in wrestling, and I think there has been for quite a long time. But anyways, no, nothing else other than that.
Okay, great.
Go Hawks.
Hey, great show. Appreciate having you on as always, and thanks for being here with me on this adventure. So we got a lot of exciting things coming up for all Three Beards Media. So just kind of keep listening. Appreciate everybody who is listening. Have a great night, and go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Talking football, talking hoops, every sport in between. IOWA, yeah, you know what I mean. From my Hawks eye view, see the whole state rise.